This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov Gang. Tonight, 5 years in jail for anti-terror posters at GMU. With us this evening, a pro-freedom artist, Oleg Atbashian. He is the mastermind of the People's Cube, a satirical website that mocks the left. Oleg, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Oleg. So we are living in some very strange and surreal times. We've got a lot to discuss tonight, but why don't we start with you telling our audience what has recently happened to you at George Mason University?
Well, as you may have heard, on November 4th, I was arrested, handcuffed, and taken to jail for posting anti-terror stickers on George Mason University campus. I was charged with Class 6 felony for destruction of property, threatened with 5 years in prison, and released 14 hours later on $8,000 bail posted by my wife. The court date is now set for February next year.
Okay, now these are the posters made by the David Horowitz Freedom Center, correct, that you're also engaged with?
Yes, I designed these posters. We worked on them together with David Horowitz and his team. So we fine-tuned the idea. So I was the final designer. I printed them. I brought them to the GMU and posted them around campus in order to raise awareness about the anti-Semitic activities that are going on there.
Okay, so look, this group, the Students for Justice in Palestine, we know that this is a campus front for Hamas. It's an instigator of Jew hatred, and these posters that you've created, and the David Horowitz Freedom Center is cooperating with you, and you guys are trying to put this truth at GMU. Now, the GMU is allowing this conference of SJP to take place during that time. And you wanted to educate the students and, the faculty, etc., about what the SGP is really about, right?
Yes, it is highly ironic, isn't it, that the terrorist supporters, the ones who actually promote violence, were having safe space protected by the university police, while I, who was actually opposed to this violent extremism, was taken to jail and was searched for weapons and was treated with prejudice as if I was some kind of extremist.
So let's crystallize this here. So GMU, it's actually providing resources and facilities to a terrorist-supporting campus organization, right?
Yes.
Okay, and your effort with these posters, and we're going to put some of them up on the screen while we have this discussion, is to alert the students and everybody at this campus about what the Students for Justice in Palestine is really all about, which is pro-terror.
That is correct.
Okay, so Oleg, now, how did this happen in terms of, just give us the sequence of events. You went there in the evening, to the best of my knowledge, you put the posters up. When you returned in the morning, they had all been ripped down, and you tried to put them up again, right?
Some of them have been ripped out, but basically this is correct, yes.
Right.
On the first night we put up stickers, actually. We had two types of posters. Some were stickers of different size, and we also had larger posters that needed to be pasted on the wall with wheat paste that we mixed in our hotel room and brought with us in the car. So on the first night we didn't use any wheat paste, we just used regular stickers similar to the mailing labels that you can buy in any office store. The sticky paper, and it's a self-adhesive paper that can be relatively easily removed.
Okay, and therefore, what were the charges against you? Because what you're saying right now completely contradicts why they're saying they arrested you, because they're trying to say that you damaged property, and that these posters actually could not be ripped off, which was completely untrue, correct?
That is bogus charge, and it's also based on a confusion. I'll explain later, but first of all, let me say that those stickers can be taken down if you know how to handle them. You just have to gently pull on the edges and work your way from different sides until they're completely taken off. And even if some of the glue remains, it's not glue, it's this adhesive component that even some of it remains with some of the paper. It can be easily taken down with glue gun or any other household cleaner easily available at any dollar store. But on the second night, we brought with us the big posters that we wanted to put up with wheat paste, which is basically made of wheat and water. It's water soluble and it comes off easily with water, but we didn't even have a chance to use it when we got arrested. Our car was pulled over and the police discovered that bucket with wheat paste. They assumed that was some kind of industrial glue, that we used it on stickers as well.
Okay, but Oleg, just hypothetically, let's say that you were putting up posters that were supporting the SGP, denouncing Israel, supporting Hamas, and you were just trying to raise awareness of this SJP conference and wanting people to go because it's a great thing to try to destroy Israel and spread hate against Israel. Do you think you would have been arrested by the police?
No, I don't think so. I think they would be very afraid of arresting us because that would be politically incorrect.
Right. Now, am I correct that several members of the Virginia State Legislature had signed a letter actually calling the SJP out on its inciting hate and fueling violent behavior, etc.? And GMU did not listen to this?
That is correct. Members of Virginia legislature wrote them a letter. David Horowitz wrote them an open letter. There has been no response. So in lieu of response, since these people have rejected all efforts to engage them in a conversation about this, in a discussion about the essence of SJP that was having a conference on their campus, then we had no other options than to use other means of engaging them and attracting their attention. And of course, that worked. They have paid attention enough to activate their local campus police force and send them to be on the lookout for the perpetrators who were posting these controversial stickers.
Look, halfway through here, I just want to say major props go out to the Freedom Center's new pamphlet, Students for Justice in Palestine, a Campus Front for Hamas Terrorists. This is written by John Perazzo. You got to get it. Just Google it. Students for Justice in Palestine, a Campus Front for Hamas Terrorists, written by John Perazzo. You can go to frontpagemagazine.com and just look at our pamphlets at Front Page Magazine, or just go to stopthejewhatredooncampus.org, and you can also find this pamphlet and find out everything that's happening also in this case to Oleg. So Oleg, let's crystallize now. Just tell us specifically what these surreal charges are against you and where they are completely wrong.
The Trump Talk charges are the destruction of property in the amount of over $1,000. And they calculated that since they cannot remove the stickers from about a dozen signs on campus, and those signs cost about $250 to make, so they calculated it would be over $2,500 damage, which is completely bogus. It's very easy. I told them that I told the campus police, and then I told the magistrate in jail where we were taken that how they can be removed, that it's easy to do, that I could do it in less than an hour, but they didn't listen. I don't know what they used to remove our stickers. Maybe they use rusty nails. Maybe they use forks and knives. Because I can't imagine how you can damage the signs by removing the stickers.
Oleg, you had an assistant with you, or this individual will remain anonymous, but it was you and another person, right?
Right. It was me and my friend, my assistant.
Okay. And both of you are facing these charges.
Exactly.
Okay. So overall, it's okay for a Hamas front to spread propaganda for Hamas, for terrorism, to incite genocide and hatred of Jewish people and against Israel, but to bring awareness to this Hamas front is now, quote unquote, illegal, and you've been arrested for it.
Right. They are charging me with a felony for destruction of property, while what I did pales in comparison to what Hamas does in Israel or what other Islamic terrorists do around the world. Destruction of property is a very mild term to describe their actions, because they engage in mass murder, in maiming and killing civilians, targeting civilians, and yes, destroying property. But their supporters are not being charged because it's a politically correct climate that promotes them.
Oleg, you were handcuffed and arrested, correct?
Correct.
Were you read your Miranda rights?
No.
What do you think about this?
I'm not a legal expert, and maybe in some cases it's not necessary, but had they read me my Miranda rights, I would have probably remembered that I should not even do anything until a lawyer arrives.
Okay, so you were in the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center for 14 hours, right? Until, yes. And I think that, am I correct, the Freedom Center helped bail you out, right?
Correct.
Okay, so where do we stand now? How many, let's just crystallize this, how many years are you facing in jail, worst comes to worst?
Well, when we were brought to this Fairfax Adult Detention Center, which is a polite term for county jail, the magistrate told us that we're facing 5 years in prison and felony charge and $8,000 bail, which was completely surreal, like you said, because since we're not violent felons, we were not under the influence of drugs or alcohol, there was no reason to put us in handcuffs. There was no reason to put any kind of bail, because we're not going to run away and, live on the lam just because we posted some stickers on GMU campus. So that was quite an experience.
And so, Oleg, in some of the reports I read about this incident, the officers were kind of triumphantly boasting when they departed and everything had happened with you, that you can't come to GMU ever again, and they were proud of this, right?
That was the campus police officer who arrested us told us, somewhat triumphantly, yes.
Okay, so let's just tell our audience here, the key is that we also need to help you and all those that believe in free speech and want to fight against this madness should go to stopthejewhatredooncampus.org, and there's a donation button at this campaign site by the Freedom Center. Stopthejewhatredooncampus.org. Go to the donation button, and the donations to this campaign will also help Oleg.
Correct.
Okay, fantastic. And once again, this is the Freedom Center's campaign and website. So all of you that are watching, to help Oleg, go to stopthejewhatredooncampus.org and go to the donation button to help. And through that campaign, you will be helping Oleg and the Freedom Center raise funds for his legal campaign. Before we go, Oleg, look, on a personal note, how surreal this must be. You were a Soviet dissident in the streets of the Soviet Union, demonstrating on behalf of democracy. You had petitions signed on behalf of Andrei Sakharov. You fought for freedom under the evil empire and against the evil empire. You faced going to the Gulag. And you come to America, and now you're persecuted in the land of the free and the home of the brave for standing up against tyranny and against terrorism. How does a former Soviet dissident, and of course, once a Soviet dissident, always a dissident, but how do you try to understand this?
I feel as if I'm traveling in a time machine, going back to the past. When I first came to America, I felt as if I came to the future.
Yeah.
But now it feels as if I'm going more and more to the past. When I read the mainstream media, when I listen to taxpayer-funded NPR, I have this chill going down my spine. I'm thinking that we're returning back to the times of the Soviet Union. Even in the Soviet Union, I was never handcuffs and arrested. I was screamed at, yes. I was threatened, yes. But I never went to jail there for my political activity. And here in the United States, I have.
Well, look, Oleg, thank you very much for everything you've done to fight for freedom. Shame on the GMU for taking the side of a Hamas front and allowing this. Shame on the police for arresting you. And even having the bravery in our environment now to go and try to fight against these forces, SJP, Hamas, all of these fronts. So thank you for what you did, and we're on your side, and we're going to be there for you. Okay, so best of luck to you, Oleg.
Well, I can argue that in my case, I was handcuffed and spent a day in jail, not as much as for the fact of posting the stickers, but for breaking a much more important unwritten campus law. We confronted ideological uniformity, also known as political correctness, which in today's American universities is as oppressive as, let's say, racism was in Alabama in 1955. Yeah. So like Rosa Parks, I didn't come to the campus to get arrested. Like she sat on that bus not to get arrested. She just wanted to ride home. I just wanted to promote the message.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing that, Oleg, and we hope to have you back on the Glazov Gang, and best of luck to you.
Thank you, Jamie.
And our audience, remember what Oleg was doing was an effort to stop the Jew hatred on American campuses. And that's why you should be always going to the campaign, the David Horowitz Freedom Center's campaign, and its site, stopthejewhatredooncampus.org. Now, right now, in terms of this particular surreal development with Oleg, you got to help the Campus Legal Fund. So go to stopthejewhatredooncampus.org, help the legal defense for Oleg Atbashian. And thank you for joining the Glazov Gang tonight. Please remember, we are a fan-generated program. Also go to jamieglazov.com to support the show, and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel of the Glazov Gang. Good night.